In the bottom left, a player who's starting to get on a roll. He might win this for his entire team. The champion of BlizzCon last year.
MVP Genius.
Genius. In the upper right, our Terran player from a mainly Protoss team.
NS 소속 짝지.
Which, of course, means that he gets to practice a lot of really great TVP. I'm still a little bit surprised by the map pick, to be honest. This is, just generally speaking, Terrans don't like this map that much, but that might be part of the reason why he chose it. Because, and yeah, that sounds crazy at first, but let's say that you have a Protoss, you have all these Protosses on your team practicing this map because they want to snipe Terrans on it. They're practicing against him, and he gets really good at it, and Protosses aren't ready for a Terran that has spent so much time on the map. Stuff like that happens occasionally from time to time in StarCraft in teams.
It's an interesting decision for Jockji to do this build.
Yeah, going command center first.
I feel like there's a high chance Genius might just try to cheese him out if he sees this.
You think so?
I think so, actually. I mean, I'm fine being wrong, but I just...
No, I mean, it's definitely
I think if I won 2 games in a row and I saw this happen, I'd be like, well, there's a lot of ways I can theoretically punish this. You know?
What, like a 4-gate, a Void? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of different things you could do. You could do a 4-gate, right? You could do the Blink Stalker rush. You could do a Void Raise. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, or you could even do Phoenixes, just because they're not going to have as many Marines out right away. But instead, Genius just going to go rolling with the punches. He says, all right, if you make a command center, I'll just make a Nexus.
I like how he made it, too. He kept one guy on the gas because he already built the geyser and didn't build his Cybernetics core. So Genius, like, really adapted to this. You know, a lot of times people just fall into a build order when they see something, but Genius has improvised.
Yeah.
If he saw this a little bit later, he might have had his core started. And then he would have had to improvise from there. But this is definitely a little bit of a different build order from Genius. So Genius has seen the 2 barracks from Skull. I mean, Jockji. No gases yet for Jockji.
And I think right now he's basically identified. All right, Genius is also going to play a passive game from the start. Both players basically shaking hands and saying, all right, I'll see you in 5 minutes from now.
Yeah, that's basically it. Nothing really can happen as far as pressure. Stalker against small amounts of Marines. Stalker can just out-micro it all day. But a bunker will be at home, so it doesn't matter. So Tasteless, as we started this season, did you think it would be seeing these 2 teams vie for a position in the finals against Prime?
No, I didn't. Absolutely did not.
That's the P button on the Crane keyboard.
So we had to get a pause here. I have no idea. Put my money on one of these guys hitting Control S, and once again,
I don't know, man.
Just turned off the sound.
It's always a sound problem. Cameraman in there, trying to help.
He's like behind him, like yelling at him. He's like, "Well, you make pros." He's like, "Go overboard." He's like, "Shut up, man! Shut up." Are you having people do that when you're playing? You're like playing a game and somebody's just like telling you to do the wrong thing?
Well, I don't really play in front of a lot of people.
I like to watch you play.
Yeah, you like to watch me get angry. You mean?
Yeah, I do. I watch like Dan.
Oh, it's a monitor issue. It looks like.
Oh my god.
He's been playing without a monitor all game long.
He had the build so memorized that he's like, wait a minute. All right, Artosis.
Yes.
Ask me something. Let's go. Let's do this.
Okay. What's your favorite Disney movie?
Aladdin.
Correct.
That's the best one.
Yeah, you got it, man.
Some people might say Lion King. They're actually wrong. And
they're so wrong, actually. That's like a silly answer. No one says Lion King. Don't be dumb, Tasteless.
No, nobody.
Don't be dumb like people who would say
Someone's
Lion
like
King.
Beauty and the Beast. I'm like, are you joking? Are you
Beauty
joking?
and the Beast.
All right, ask me another one. Let's go.
I would not want to turn into a prince. I would rather be a rich monster.
I know, right? Like, I would much rather be a beast.
Like all my silverware and stuff dances.
You like have to
sings.
turn into like a human? No, you don't.
No, forget
Chicks
that, man.
dig beast men.
Absolutely.
They absolutely do
Chicks
that,
dig
right?
beast men.
I know. There's a whole category of men that are just beast men, terrorizing. And he has a castle anyways. You know he's rich.
He's rich, man.
Stick guys with money.
He looks good in that jacket as a beast, I tell you that.
He looks sharp.
He's
he looks
a
handsome.
sophisticated beast.
Women don't care about appearance as much as men do.
Would never turn into that. Never.
Stupid story.
And speaking of which, the Little Mermaid, doesn't she, like, grow legs at the end or something, Ariel?
Yeah.
You know what? Forget that. I want a fishtail.
I want a fishtail, too. Mermaids are not hot if they don't have their fishtails.
If he loves you, he'll move to the beach. He'll live on a boat.
Yeah. That's
He'll
right.
make it happen.
That's the whole movie where it's like, you have to deny your nature and actually become something else. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Why didn't he magically grow a fishtail?
Yeah. Because what, being a human's better than being a mermaid? I don't think so.
I don't either.
How do mermaids reproduce? How does a mermaid baby born?
Male mermaids have fish upper bodies and male lower bodies.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that sexy?
That's
Think
just
about
the
that.
sexiest thing in the world. Gnosis.
No, I
a
made that
giant
up.
fish's head.
I made that up, but that would be like the least attractive thing ever.
Well, you know, it depends on what you're into.
I guess that's true. You know what? Stand corrected. I'm like, okay, I admit I'm into that.
I'm into that. All right. Don't check the videos on my computer. All right. Nice job here, just controlling that ramp. Not the one that we just saw back there, like ramp number 2 or whatever, but actually the one that's outside the front of the expansion.
Oh. Genius just going up very standardly into a 3-gate robo, getting another couple gases very quickly. I think he's going to do the same exact build as last game.
All right.
Meantime, Jack G just going up very standard on his tech.
If I could just point out here, I absolutely love the positioning of all the important structures for Genius that are in the center of his base.
Yes.
So many people initially were making all the gateways hug the corners, but the problem is then you get dropped there. The Marauders just kill it and leave. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, specifically on the Korean server, the dropship aggression is so good and so frequent that you oftentimes just clump all your important stuff right in the center of your base so that drops can't snipe it, because as soon as you get a couple things sniped at the highest level, that's actually it, man. I don't know what you're going to do. You don't have your upgrades. You went for upgrades, you're dead. So we'd have double forge on the way, upgrading, being chrono boosted. This is just, I love this strategy, man. It's so nice. Double forge. I think the first player to actually go double forge in this matchup a lot was Liquid Tyler, though. He's been doing it since, like, the beta. Well, you know, no, man, what you do is you go double forge for a bit, and then you make Colossi. That's kind of what people are doing right now.
Well, you know what it's nice about going double forge is it allows you to really utilize the chrono boost throughout the game.
That's very true.
Tasteless dropping mad knowledge.
It's a great thing to use chrono boost on, and not just that, it transitions better than basically anything, because nothing is more long-term than upgrades. They take a long time, they take a big investment, and that's like how you transition into like a very healthy later part of the game. It's hard to make wrong decisions when you have 3-3, man.
Well, it's just, you know, I think a lot of people aren't even paying enough attention to what the upgrades of their opponents are.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about our pro gamers here, but I mean just in general, players on the event.
It's important.
Where it's like, wait a minute, he's 2-2 and I'm only +1 attack. It's like, well, I guess I lose.
Blink first again for MVP. And again, that's just so popular.
I think
right
I'm going to
now.
have to start experimenting with the Blink first.
You know, I was going Blink first for a while, then I switched over to Charge first. During the dark months of PvT. The ones where it was like, I'm dying all the time. But I don't know, man. I think it's just to help deal with drops. Pretty sure that's why they're doing it.
Well, you know what's smart about it is that the drops are such a threat, even when you're on 2 base. I mean, like, if they get one critical structure, you're like, well, I guess my entire build's screwed up.
A lot of players will just stop doing drops because they get scared as soon as they see Blink anyways.
Yeah.
So Genius already does have 1-1 with 2-2 on the way.
That Marine couldn't have died faster. What planet do you think that is back there? It's got to be the map. It's
Mars.
The planet that has blistering sands on it.
It's Marsara, maybe.
Marsara? I don't think Marsara was that color.
Yeah, it was. I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, Marsara was a desert tile set, right?
Was it? No,
I think so.
I don't think. Actually, I don't
Really?
know.
Whatevs. Might have been like a Badlands style set over desert.
Yeah, I actually always hated the Badlands title set.
Well, it actually didn't make good maps. It didn't have the right terrain. In fact, every map ever made on it was terrible too. StarCraft 1.
Much back in StarCraft 1 where there was like the map Boneyard or whatever. Remember that? You remember that map?
Oh, yeah.
That's an old map. That actually shows how old we are as pro gamers, man. So like I actually had to play at a tournament where I have to use that map. I'm like, you're kidding me. You're actually kidding me. After you play on the map Boneyard, this map is so bad.
So the third Nexus is going up before Jakji actually takes an additional base. But that's fine, because his 2-2 is going to be done. He's got his blink. Charge is on the way. It's not very far, though. Colossus number 2 is on the way. And Jakji really hasn't done anything. What is his plan here? He's making some ghosts, but he has not started any Vikings, and we're already up to Colossus number 2. That's a cool thing about going for the Forge Rush. People are like, well, okay, upgrades, that means I need ghosts, because that lends itself to high Templar tech, and as well as using sentries, because you have so many gateway units and whatnot. But
well, also
just switching right over into Colossus, you're like, well, you don't have... what does his opponent have here that's good at battling what he has? Jakji right now has 1-1 against 2-2. And he has Ghosts against Colossus.
He might actually want to stim and run in. Oh, actually, it's too late now. Never mind. I was going to say you could stim and run in there and try to hit the Nexus, but Protoss is going to be prepared.
Charge still not done. All he needs to do is wait till charge is done. 26 charge odds are out. With 2-2, that's pretty sick. You know, being one upgrade up on your opponent is quite helpful. But being 2, like Genius is right now, is so good.
Well, you know, I think this is what all the Protosses need to start doing, is just doing these Forge upgrade rushes, because it's... Well, you want to utilize the, the powers and abilities that give your race an advantage. And that's exactly what you're going to do in this situation, is there's actually no way to beat a Protoss and upgrade chrono boosting.
Well... This planetary going up, but
indecisive zealots.
Oh, in fact, he lifts it right off, knowing he's going to take too much damage from those. That was actually an unbelievably effective harassment. That was so good by Genius. Kudos to Genius. He's in brilliant shape right now.
Hey, I don't know if Genius is actually going to be able to get out of his base. This is the way I see this game turn up, is actually that Terran position. I don't think he can actually get out of that, man.
Oh, it's definitely going to be
I think it's actually going to be really, really difficult.
But actually, you know what? The best thing for the world, for Genius, is to actually just max out and get some high Templars in his composition. So it's a good thing he can't move out yet. Now, as we do have 2 star ports up for our Terran player, Jakji, so he's making a lot of Vikings. It's going to help out. There are only 3 Colossi, which is such a great number against Vikings, because there's no right number of Vikings to get against 3 Colossi.
Oh, you're very smart today, Artosis. That's actually a great point.
Thank you. And that's so nice. He's going to tech up, get his high Templars out, maybe some Archons. Everything is just looking so nice for Genius. And yeah, he's going to go Archons instead of Storm. I would love to see him get Storm, though. Actually see no reason not to. When your opponent's just sitting there and you've had 3 base up longer than him in this matchup, get Storm. All right, here we go. He is attacking Outtastes a lot. Oh my god, EMPs everywhere. Everything's been EMP'd.
Literally everything has been EMP'd except for that Colossus. He's chasing him down now, and this is where upgrades really start to show you what elite he has. What are the upgrades with the Terran, Artosis?
Terran is at 1-1, Tasteless, against the 3-2 of Genius, and that is why he just crushed that battle. If it was equal upgrades, it definitely would have looked different. Terran, I think, may have won that or held that. Both of them probably would have retreated from it. Absolutely insane by Genius. So well is he playing. His Prox Pylon rallying in some more units.
Oh, nice. Mowing down the Vikings.
Now, Vikings do pitiful damage against 3-2 Colossus. It's like just so good for Genius right now.
He actually salvaged the bunkers. That was a peculiar decision. So like I said, have less defense.
Building placement very good against charge lots.
That's GG, man. This is actually GG here, I think.
Yeah, Genius is killing
actually
everybody.
Like, no way. He doesn't even have he doesn't even have SCVs, excuse me, at that expansion. All right, now the SCVs have been transferred there.
And, well, don't know, man. There are only 2 Colossi, which helps out a little bit. One does go down.
Nice, blinking behind to let the Archons and the Zealots do the damage. This is one of those moments for turn players where he's like, oh, I killed the Colossus, but I lost the game. GG. Uh-oh. Time to break open the emergency glass and pull out the Dongre goo. Wow.
That's
Take
right.
a look at frustration.
Yakchi's so unhappy.
He let his team down.
So it's now time for Sage then, isn't it?
His team was chanting his name.
Well, I'm actually so happy to see the return of Genius. He's actually so smart when you can tell he's practicing and caring. But it seems like for so long he wasn't. He was just like riding his leftover skill from earlier.
Like the stuff he figured out week 2 of the beta.
Yeah, but now suddenly today, he's like, no, I'm back. And God, does he look good? Seriously, does he look good or what, Tasteless?
He looks damn good, man.
So it's time for Sage. Sage is coming out. And it's just this.
I said Dongre goo.
He has to start on a PvP. That's dangerous.
Yeah, PvP.
But
Sage.
PvP is different than it
Did
used
you
to be.
hear earlier I said it's time to open up the emergency glass and bring out Dongre goo?
You've actually done that like 10 times today.
I actually suck today, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm a human being. So yeah, let's get Sage out here. And PvP is volatile.
It is. The new PvP though has not been completely figured out yet. It's not as volatile as the old PvP. That's for sure. That's for sure. If you're actually really solid at PvP right now, it's going to go likely to a much longer game. But we'll have to see how this goes, man. I don't know what Sage's PvP is like right now. We haven't really seen him PvP much. Mostly the other 2 matchups. If he gets through Genius, then everything gets really exciting.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, okay, Sage is where we know Sage thrives, which is killing Terrans and Zergs. I don't know about his PvP though. I haven't seen enough of it.
Well, we'll see.
I'm sure it's great. But
there's a lot of stuff. It's a 1-on-1 map, so he could cheese as well. It's gonna be Crossfire.
Yeah, it's gonna be Crossfire. That's a Colossus map, man. You got to go Colossus on this map.
That's like the map where if you expand, you lose. Like just do not expand on that map.
You actually, it's so funny because
my opponent expands,
charge zealots are going to be pretty terrible there too.
Yeah.
I've actually. The thing is, I haven't been playing this map since the patch, so I don't know PvP on this map right now.
I don't like this map to play on. To be totally honest,
I actually have a really fun time playing on this map.
Do you really?
I played a lot of customs on this map.
Who's it going to be? Actually, we already know it's Sage.
Yeah.
Sage gets his Sage staff that he can cast spells with and fight with. He throws it on the ground and it turns into a snake.
Dongre goo is laughing to himself, Tasteless. He's just thinking about how tired Sage is going to be when he hits him.
See the NSO coaches. Pretty nervous. Look at this guy. He's like,
He's
yeah,
so
man.
He's like,
I'm the MVP coach. What are you going to do? My nerds are owning. All right, Sage. Can he do it? So are there any traps in this headphone? No. Wait. Okay, no, there's no traps in the headphone.
That's how much he scouts, folks.
That's how much he scouts. The MVP team could have put something that had daggers go in his ears and he would have just died. Genius.
He's just like, I don't know.
Well, Genius hasn't been on a roll like this in a while. This is like actually
long
the best day
time.
ever for him.
Yeah, this is the best I've seen him play since back near, maybe directly after BlizzCon, you know?
Right near directly after BlizzCon.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to have a 5-minute break, guys, so don't go too far away. This is the GSTL.